So, with that, dessert is being served, and it looks pretty good. So, enjoy your dessert as we're going through the toast. So I'll start out again. I'm Jim Williams. I'm Joe's dad, and Joe and I are a lot alike. A lot alike, aren't we, Joe? And we sometimes butt heads a little bit. Sometimes we get along really well, but it's a wonderful relationship. And if you know Joe too, Joe's a talker, just a little bit. Jimmy was our quiet one, and we didn't need a daughter because of Joe. When it's time to go to bed, Joe wants to sit up and tell you his whole day. But we love you for it. We love you. And Maggie, now you get to listen to it. But Joe and Maggie, y'all have got a wonderful life. I think Jimmy said it great in the blessing. As God has really set in place such a life for you two. I mean, it's God only knows where you're going to go. And I say that with all sincerity. You're special. And God knows it, and He's using you. He's going to use you to really celebrate everything about God. So the future is just brilliant. I mean, I can't wait to see what you two do there. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about Joe. So, if you know Joe's also a little bit competitive. And so freshman year in high school, and there's a couple guys here, Will, Connor, you will remember this. The three of them were on the freshman football team. It didn't go real well. But Joe was like, God, it's just killing me. I said, Joe, if you start something, you're going to finish. So he got through the season, and it's like, okay, you don't have to go play football again. So what are you going to do? He says, I'm going to go out for the track team. And I said, Joe, the Williams don't run. I said, so what are you going to do? He says, I'll just throw things. And I said, well, go for it. So Joe took the time to learn how to throw by watching YouTube. And as he was watching YouTube, he would go out in the yard and he would throw the discus. And so his freshman year, he says, I'm going to state championships. I said, Joe, come on. I said, I want to encourage you, but, let's set some goals that are achievable. So you're a freshman. You've never thrown this thing. And so freshman year, he went to state championships. And he didn't place, but he went as a freshman. So he says, next year I'm going to win. I'm like, Joe, come on. And I guess I'm telling more of a story about me not believing, because he said, I'm going to win state. The guys from Hoover who beat you every meet are still here. And that whole season, they beat him every meet until state championships, and he won. And I'm like, So put it in perspective. He says, well, I'm going to throw in college. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't try to talk him down, but as he got better and better, and you guys all know the rest of the story, and he went to Alabama and he threw and did quite well, and had a great team. D sitting right here. I mean, one of his teammates, and I mean they really set the world on fire with that Alabama throwing team. And Joe was right there in the middle of it. Joe kept saying, Dad, I don't know if I'm college material. I said, Joe, look at you. We're throwing NCAA Division I out of Alabama, and you're placing, so I think you got it. So Maggie and Joe, I won't question another thing that you set as a dream. I'll never question it, because you showed me that when you set your mind to something, you're going to make it work. And, when it was a couple years ago, and he sat down with his mom and I, he says, I don't know if I'll ever find that girl. Excuse me. And when Maggie came in his life, we knew immediately he was blown over. he knew she was the one. And I'll tell you what, we could not have asked for a perfect match for Joe. They are absolutely the best. And now we're going to be blessed to have two beautiful, wonderful daughters-in-law. And having grown up with two boys, having two daughters, we don't even call them daughters-in-law. Having two daughters will be awesome. So I left my wine on the table, but I will ask you to raise your glass and let's have a toast for Joe and Maggie, that your life is full of all of your dreams, and God will make the way for you. Cheers. And roll tide.
That was so awesome.
Great speech. That was the phone, not the wine.
What's up, everybody? Y'all doing well? Awesome. What a special evening. Jim, Cheryl, thank you. Thank you. Could we clap for them? What a wonderful job. We're so grateful. Thank you. We love you guys so very much and excited about joining families. We really are. And want to thank everyone for being here this weekend. Your presence is it's very important to us, and it means the world. And so thank you for making the effort to be here. I think most of you are in the wedding, so most of you had to be here. But thank you anyway. And I would be remiss if I started tonight without honoring my wife. And Colette, I love you. You're an amazing wife, but you're a really good mother. And the hours of dedication that you have given to our daughters and son, yeah. I can honestly say I don't think we would be here tonight without you. And so thank you. It's the truth. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. It's awesome. Maggie. Magdalene Mitchell Green Sr., as I like to call her. Sweet Maggie. My precious, precious girl. You know, a father-daughter bond, it's really indescribable. And I had no idea what a father-daughter bond was like until December 27th, 1995. It's 7:04 p.m. when you entered this world and just stole my heart. It was so cute. She was born with a head full of black hair. You're like a little Eskimo baby. But I'll tell you, you inherited your mom's beautiful brown eyes, and you have the cutest button nose on planet Earth. And I fell in love with you. The black hair quickly fell out, and blonde hair came in, and a journey began. And it's just been an amazing, almost 25-year journey that words don't do justice, and the memories and the stories are just too vast and too many. But I remember just everything from, you know, the night you were born. It was a tough labor and delivery. Mama and daughter fought hard. I mean, it was, and everybody was exhausted. And Maggie slept for a newborn. I think this is pretty uncommon. Slept 5 or 6 hours in a row. And Colette and I sat and stared at you and just knew that our lives were forever changed. And, you know, we needed a little healing at that time, and God knew exactly what we needed. And so you're a gift. You're such a gift. The parks, the zoo, riding on the last caboose train. There's no telling how much money I spent at Chuck E. Cheese. Just, we were going to win every prize. And we did. We won a lot of prizes. We did so well. Yes, Maggie can milk it. And she would ask for more, and I don't think I've ever said no. One of the things I don't know that this is actually, I learned later that this was not a great attribute, but I wanted to make every weekend of Maggie's life the best weekend she'd ever had. Yes, Joe, you will inherit that. We did taper it off once we gave our hearts to the Lord and started learning some biblical parenting. But no one has ever accused me of lacking zeal in my parenting. And so I remember one time I found this blue plastic swing. It was an airplane swing, and we had a big oak tree in our house on Cherry Street, and the lowest branch was about 30 or 40 feet high, and I finagled it and got this swing. This thing was the Mac Daddy. I mean, it would swing out over the road and almost hit the house coming back. Colette kept saying, DHR's on their way. They're going to show up. And Maggie was probably 2.5, maybe 3, and she would hold on to those little things and that little blonde hair, and she'd, higher, Dad, more, Dad, faster. And that's when I really knew that your heart, you're fearless. And that was one of countless times that you just showed the grit, the determination, and the just who you are and what you're made of. And, you know, with soccer and the lake and hunting and tubing and camping and just about everything, that I have just such great memories. I'm so grateful. Thank you for being an amazing daughter. Maggie and I ran a half marathon her 10th grade year and did that with Kaylin as well. It was recommendatory. And but our first run, Maggie said, "Now, Dad, we're not going to be talking and stuff. We've got to focus on running." And I just smiled, and we had some great conversations. And watching you complete that half marathon, and just again showed your grit and your determination. And you have been a complete joy to your mom and I. And I'm so grateful for the daughter that you have been to us. You know, as I've reflected over the last week or so on these memories, what I've realized is it was less about activities and more about who you were becoming. And you have become someone who loves God, who's strong but yet humble, strong but yet delicate, strong but yet just full of love in the way you give and serve and give your life away. And I'm so grateful for the young woman of God that you've become. You know your Creator. You love Jesus with all your heart. And as a parent, there's no greater joy than seeing a child own their faith and come into a saving knowledge with Jesus Christ. And so thank you for making that decision. Thank you for the choices you've made. You've swum upstream. You've made tough decisions in a world that is kind of crazy. And we're so proud of that and so proud of who you are and who you've become. You know, your life verse is, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God, Matthew 5:8. And Maggie, we've watched your heart become so pure, and you're far from perfect. We know that. But you sure are an amazing woman. In Proverbs 27, the Bible says, as a face is reflected in the water, so one's heart is reflected in their life. And Maggie, you reflect a beautiful, precious, precious heart. And so thank you again for that. Undoubtedly, you will make a great wife and a great mother, because after all, you learn from the best. You really did. And that's the truth. Now, Joe, Miss Colette and I love you dearly. And we like you too. We really do. We're so proud of you. From the moment we met you, we knew you were special. We knew that Maggie thought you were special. Your teachable spirit, your humility is a rare combination in today's world. Your love for God and your willingness to put Him first and serve Him and not man is a beautiful picture of what we dream for in a husband for our daughter. And so thank you for that. And we're so grateful again that God has brought you two together. And you know, we knew things were getting exciting, and it was kind of getting heated up, and we could tell Maggie was thinking this was a special guy. And so Colette and I are talking back and forth. I really like him, there's just this myriad of emotions, and so it came to the point where it was time to sit down. And Miss Colette and I do a lot of premarital counseling, so I came in, we're guns loaded. I mean, this is going to be, and we had a great meeting. It was a wonderful meeting, and we really challenged them. I mean, we challenged them in a great way, in a healthy way, and in a proper way. And we walked out of there, and we both said, well, we've said it. And we said they're either going to grow that way or this way. And one of the signifying marks of God's hand on you all's life and relationship is from that moment on, you all, it was a train that was unstoppable. And it was such a beautiful thing. And when God's in something, there's a peace, there's a grace. And I think everyone here tonight knows you two are meant for each other. And it's a beautiful thing to sit here on this occasion and have no doubt that God has brought the two of you together. And we got to watch it in quarantine. Joe lived with us in quarantine for a long time. I don't know how many months it was, but it was almost 3 months. And we said at the end of it, we picked him, but he had to pick us too. And we made it through that. But Joe and I extracted a dead possum from our crawl space, and it wasn't one that had died the night before. We had had this horrible smell for a long time, and I was so proud of you. You did a great job. We bonded like never before in that crawl space that was about this high, lifting up a petrified possum or whatever. Rigor mortis had a set in a few weeks earlier. And so that was crazy, but fun. And then we knew when Maggie became a gardener. She had her little gardener gloves and her little outfit, and that's when we knew. Maggie, if you really want to know when we knew, is when you became a gardener. But no, just watching that. And so we came out of that and it was a gift. It was a gift. I know quarantine was very difficult in this pandemic and all that. That wasn't a gift. Our time together was a gift. And so I think it was premarital counseling on steroids. And so, we felt, we were like, let's get married. It's time to roll. And so again, when God puts a couple together, 1 + 1 equals a lot more than 2. That is going to be the truth with you too. And we speak that over your lives, that you will serve God, you will fulfill all that God has for you and more, and that you will win more souls to the kingdom. You will encourage the saints, and you will do exceedingly abundantly more than we could all hope or dream or imagine. Miss Colette and I love you both dearly. And so I would say, let's please raise our glasses to this wonderful couple, Joe and Maggie. We love you guys. Yeah. Awesome.
Great job, Dad. Hi, my name is Kaylin. I go by KK, Tia, or Mona. You can pick. Yes, there's so much I want to say. Oh, they're having a moment. Have a moment. You're so cute. How's this side room doing? Yeah, you look great. You're looking amazing. So I'm going to start with Joe. Joe. Okay, so Joe and I actually met. Many people don't know this story, but I was at Starbucks being so studious, and I look over and I see this great-looking dude, and he's with 2 sweet, junior high boys, and he's, pastoring them. And I immediately text my sister. I'm like, there is the best-looking dude at Starbucks. And I think he's looking at me at the exact same time. Joe texts Maggie, oh, I see your little sister at Starbucks. Needless to say, I went to that Starbucks every day for the next month. Never ran into Joe again. And now you're marrying my sister. So, congrats, Max. That's very true. And then my dad mentioned quarantine. I gotta just share this one story. So, quarantine, right? We don't know how long this is gonna last. But immediately we go to Walmart, the greatest place on earth, and we are like, we gotta stack up. This might be, we don't know how long this is gonna last. So we all divide and conquer, right? And we just go. Well, we don't really give Joe that many instructions because we don't know him that well. So I'm like, let's see what he'll purchase. That'll kind of tell a little bit about him. So we spend probably a little too much money, and we get back to the house, and we kind of all line up, all the siblings. Joe's included in this line. And my dad is pulling out items, right? So he's like, who bought this? Throwing it. Who bought this? He pulls out this bath, like scrunchy thing. Like, you know, that you scrub your loofah. I think it was purple. Pulls it out, and me, Hamp, and Maggie all take one step back. And my dad looks at Joe, and he's like, you purchased this? Joe's like, yes, sir. And he takes it from him. Sorry for throwing you under the bus. I love you. I'm actually a big fan, bought my own. Anyways, but from that moment, Joe, seeing you at Starbucks, like that actually was such a cool moment. Because your heart, you were sitting with these two boys from Asbury and literally watching you pastor them. Like from moment one, it was your heart that captivated me. Like I was just like, oh my gosh, like this dude is legit. If he's gonna take the time to, in the middle of his day, to sit with two young boys and pour. And I remember hearing I was eavesdropping, and and you were just like pouring into them about purity and like how important it is to like become men of God. And I literally was like, whoever ends up with this dude is like so lucky, and my sister gets to end up with you. And then throughout the whole quarantine season, which was so wild, but like every morning, he has his morning routine and his oatmeal bowl he leaves everywhere. But every morning, he would just sit with God. Like I felt like he was having his own like one-on-one session with the Lord, because you just bring this peace. Like you bring this steadiness to our family. We're a little crazy, and like every time you're in the room, there's just like this steadiness. And that's what you bring to our family. And I am so thankful for it, especially for my sister, because Maggie, you're amazing, and I love you so much. My first memory of Maggie is in our little office room. She had just accepted Jesus. And I remember her looking at me, and she was like, I accepted Jesus. I think I was like 3. You're like 5. Is that even legal? I don't know. But but she was like, I just accepted Jesus. I was like, I want to accept Jesus. I never forget, we were like literally on our hands and knees. You're like, okay, repeat after me. Jesus. I'm like, Jesus. You're like, come in my heart. I'm like, come in my heart. She's like, amen. I'm, amen. I made it. She's like, all right, we're in this fist bump. But seriously, like, if that's not such a picture of our relationship, like on our knees every day, like you leading the way, like you were such a trailblazer. And sorry. It's just like so easy to follow your lead. And at the same time, you push me to be me. And it's so cool, because it's like, even in this, I'm watching and it's so surreal, because I'm like, oh my goodness, like once again, you're just being such an incredible example. And I'm so thankful. A lot of mistakes I missed out on, because you nailed it. Thank you for that too. No, but really, you were just such a trailblazer. And if, like, that is such, Joe, you need to know, like, she's a woman on her knees. And the way you pray, the way you seek the face of God, the way you lead your friends, the way you're so humble and so, like, just here for it. Like, whatever the plan is, you're in. And then when it's your time to speak up, you speak up with confidence. And I'm so thankful for you as my sister. So I love y'all. I am so excited. Also, I'm coming on the family vacation. So you got 3 daughters now. Can't wait. No, for real. So everyone raise your glass. I forgot mine. To Joe and Maggie and the more memories. And to Mona.
Hello, everybody. Now it's time for my prepared remarks. Before I begin, I just want to thank Mom and Dad for throwing a great party tonight. And you guys can just relax, grab a drink, don't stress anymore. The bridal party will take it from here, so we'll be okay. So my name is Jimmy. I've been Joe's brother for several years, and it's so cool to be here. I think I've thought for many years what I would say tonight, Yet I was still finishing this in the parking lot tonight, and we were running 15 minutes late, and my wife was like, we need to go to your brother's rehearsal dinner, like, hurry up. So, hopefully the end of this is as good as the beginning, because it was scribbled in a car in just a couple of minutes. But, as an older brother, as the oldest in the family, I think older siblings try to lead the way. And Maggie knows this, and it's so sweet to hear KK talk about that. And sometimes leading the way means, going through, a few tough turns with mom and dad to blaze a trail for the younger of kin. So from, 10 p.m. curfews to recommended times that you might be home that Joe enjoyed. From getting from pleading with my mom and dad to get me anything but a white car, and for them to buy me a white Honda Civic, to Joe getting the coolest black Xterra ever on his 16th birthday. High school would have gone a lot differently for me if I had had the black Xterra. Oh, by the way, that smelled like dead animals until Joe started dating Maggie, so thank you. And then now he's got this like grown-up car, and it's really good. So just one of the many reasons that we love Maggie. And then from trading American Eagle clothes that I wore into college to telling Joe his first day of high school he should wear tacos and cool things. I wore jean shorts the first day of high school. It really came a long way in 5 years from that. I tried to lead the way as well with band and sports, and sometimes Joe would follow in my path, and other times he said, that's really not cool. I'm going to do something different. And so he, played the saxophone for several years. He thought he was going to be the next Kenny G. And then he realized that no one in our generation has appreciation for the saxophone. And that being a football star was way cooler. So that's when he got to high school, which was great. And in baseball, I played baseball for several years. Joe's obviously the athlete in the family. I don't mind saying that. I will say that wasn't always the case, though. In fact, I like to sometimes say that Joe is such a great athlete because of what I put him through in his earliest years in our home. So when Joe was able to walk, we started wrestling, and we wrestled until he got as big as me, which was when he turned 6 years old. So that built a lot of grit and determination in his upbringing, which I'm very proud of. There's few things that Joe did where he was his own trailblazer. He was an esports star before esports was a cool thing. He was World of Warcraft through and through, RuneScape through and through. And after this weekend, I understand that he's now going to start making his own TikTok videos for workouts. So there's a future there too. Yeah, he made me watch that too. It was bad. It was good. There was a lot of content in that. That was impressive. TikTok is only 30 seconds, so you'll be fine. It's good. And obviously Joe went down the discus path, which was incredible. In fact, for those of you who have had the chance to come over to my mom and dad's house, if you go into Joe's room, it is a shrine to Joe's discus glory days. And there are medals on the wall, and there are state championship trophies and Gatorade Athlete of the Year trophies. There's a picture of Joe mid-flight in his throw with the words finish over the top of it, which has got to be motivating. Anytime you wake up in the morning, you're like, yes, I will put on underwear today. I will finish getting dressed. I will do it. But the best relic in Joe's room is this picture, and I think it might also be hanging in Spain Park as well. And it's of Joe doing the flex, and hanging from each bicep is a medal. Although the medals don't look like they need him to be so strong to hold them up, but And I think I will probably not let my future kids stay the night in his room because they will ask me where my flexing picture is with my band medals, and I will tell them that no such picture exists. So that's nice. There's one thing that Joe has pioneered since he was a very young child, and many of you have heard about it here tonight. Joe has been an avid gardener since he turned 7 years old. And when I was in middle school, enjoying sleeping in, on Saturdays, Joe was waking up at 8 a.m., going to Home Depot and buying tomato plants and basil plants and peppers and all sorts of things that he didn't eat until last year. If you notice, the entire meal tonight was brown because that's how we do in my family. I didn't eat vegetables until I got married either, so there you go. But, in the early days of the pandemic, as you heard, Joe and Maggie actually started a garden of their own. And I learned tonight that Joe actually dug up a bunch of Colette's bushes to make that happen. So God bless you, Joe, for making it here. This is quite an accomplishment. But by the time we showed up in May, so, pandemic had been going on for a couple of months, we get to the house and Maggie is like anxious to show us all of her pictures of her peppers and her squash and how big they were. And she's like, look, we're growing, the garden is huge, it's amazing. And I was like, man, Joe, you have really hoodwinked this girl. This is impressive. So when I first met Maggie, it was probably almost 2 years ago now. We quickly bonded over the fact that she and I are both 8s on the Enneagram. For those of you who don't know the Enneagram, the 8 is the challenger, the personality type that basically rules the world. And cheers to that, thank you. We like to challenge the status quo, and we have an inherent ability to always nail the execution. We always stick the landing, it's great. Joe, on the other hand, is a 7 on the Enneagram. As you heard from the fellow 7s in the room, the 7 is the enthusiast. Someone who is a 12 out of 10 on the excitement scale with a big, bold vision to change the world. And so I'm just so happy that after having served the role of the 8 in Joe's life for so long, now I get to pass the torch to Maggie to serve the role of the 8. And Maggie, you have the ability to fly at the high altitudes of Joe enthusiasm, but you can also land the airplane, which is really important, because if you can't land the plane, then nothing else really matters. So I've never seen Joe be as clean and prompt in his life now, and now that he has an 8 by his side, I think he's really prepared to just make some big things happen. There were always big things, but now they're going to happen, which is great. And I can't wait to see what the two of you are going to do together, the frontier you're going to explore, the gardens you're going to plant, and the good fruit you're going to bear together as you change our world for the better. So I love you both. Wish you many happy years of marriage and of well-executed, bold ideas. So with that, raise a glass to Joe and Maggie.
Whew. I love y'all. I just want to start by honoring my second parents, Pastor Ham and Miss Colette. I would not be who I am today if it was not for y'all. I will do marriage differently, and I will do parenthood differently just because of y'all and y'all's influence in my life. And thank y'all for raising my best friend. Seriously. It's exciting. It's exciting. I'm so happy. I really am. I genuinely, this is the sweetest day because I am so thankful. I'll get to this in a second, but actually I'll start here. I look at both of y'all and I look at Joe and I'm like, God, you're faithful. You're so faithful. Me and Mags have just sat around for years being girls and just giggling and dreaming about our future husbands. And I look at Joe and I'm like, God did it. Maggie, you've waited well. That's what we used to say in college. Like, wait, well, while we were like dreaming and reading Sacred Search and all these books. We thought we were about to get married out of college. We were like, oh, he's for sure happening senior year, for sure. And so we were dreaming all these things, and oh my gosh, I will never forget us just sitting on the bed and crying about old things, and old people, praise God, led you to here. And I look at you and I'm like, God, you're faithful. You will do it. And Maggie, you've waited well. You waited so well. Seriously. Okay, but Mags, I love you so much. While I was trying to come up with words, I have both on my phone, but I can't even do it. I just get overwhelmed by thinking about just how big of a gift you are. Like, you're literally my gift. Like, you're my angel from heaven. It's insane. Can y'all hear me over here? And I'm serious. Talk closer. I'm serious. And so I don't know who all goes to Highlands. I think a lot of y'all do, but they have lifesavers. Precious Maggie was praying for me, and she just, y'all, took me in her wing. Like, she's been my sidekick. She's been the girl taking me through everything. I learned how to walk with the Lord. I learned what it meant to even be a follower. I learned what it meant to be best friends with the Lord, what it meant to be a woman of God, hopefully one day even more. But just from you, Mags, so thank you for that and for not giving up on me and for truly walking with me through everything. We laughed. We thought about this the other day because I hadn't thought about it in years. But one time me and Maggie were on a church retreat at Elevation. And this was in like 7th grade. So Maggie transferred in 9th grade. And so that's when we became really good friends. We went on church retreat to Elevation, and we were in this thing, and people were talking about finding your accountability partner, finding your buddy, whatever. Me and Maggie are kind of fresh friends, but like we're close, but we're fresh friends. And I looked at her and we're like, battle buddies, because the theme is find your battle buddy. Literally so me and Maggie were like praying together. We became battle buddies then, and literally, y'all, she is my battle buddy. Like, you have walked with me through everything. Like, you have been literally, oh my gosh, like through my highs and through my lows, and you would not let me walk through it alone. So, Joe, I promise you, you will never walk through anything alone because she will be right there with you. So thank you for that. Seriously, thank you for that. Yeah, and I love you so much, and I will be a different wife because of you after I watch you be a wife. Seriously. Joe, I love you so much, too. I'm so grateful for you. It's so sweet to be able to stand up here and know that I can trust you with her. Like, I genuinely trust your walk with the Lord, and so I trust it. Like, I'm like, you're hearing from him. Like, you only pursued her because you heard from him. And that's where it started. And so that's like the foundation of this whole thing. And I can trust it. I can walk in it confidently, knowing that tomorrow is a day made by the Lord, and it's for his glory, and it's glory day. Literally, it's glory day. And so, Joe, yeah, I love you so much. The other day we were all hanging out, a couple of us were, and Joe got us to go around, I'll never forget it, to go around the circle and tell him one way that we thought he could best love Maggie for the rest of his life. And immediately the Lord just told me, I just forgot what it was. Here it is. I mean, it hit me in the moment, but now I remembered it. I said, make her feel chosen every single day, because that is what me and Maggie walked through of she just would cry to me of saying, will I ever feel like I'm chosen? Will I ever feel like someone understands me and wants me for me? And Joe, you want her for her and nothing else. You actually want the best version of herself, so you challenge her to be the best version of it, and you love her through it. And so thank you for that. I know that you'll make her feel chosen. She feels so understood by you. She's told me that countless times, so thank you for that. Funny story real quick. I got to lighten the mood a little bit. So we all moved to Tuscaloosa recently. The Lord was so kind to bring us back to our favorite city. Just called me separately, and so it's really cool to get to do it together. First day, or the night before Joe had work, Magdalene, the night before Joe had work for the first time, he came over to my house. Maggie was moving in to live with me at the condo before they moved into their apartment coming up now. So I got to have a month with her. But anyways, Joe was coming over with Maggie to see me. Maggie's bawling in his arms. And I'm like, look at Joe, and I'm picking him up at the gate where I have to let him into my Chimes condos. And I'm like, Joe, what's wrong? Is she okay? Maggie's like, I'm fine. I'm like, Joe, seriously, what's wrong? And he was like, she's just upset because she won't see me till 5 p.m. tomorrow. And I was like, I looked at Joe, and I said, Joe, I knew you were the one, but I officially know you were the one for my best friend, for sure. And hey, I will say, I started work the week before, and she shedded no tears. But no, Joe, I love you, and I'm so thankful that she loves you so much that she doesn't want to do a day without you from 8 to 5. So So seriously, okay, this is something that I didn't think I was going to share, but we're all family here, so I'm just going to share it. Well, no, I can't unsee it. So basically, me and Maggie have been praying a lot about just how she's walking into a new name. She's walking into Williams, and it's so powerful. And we were praying about it, and the Lord just gave me this picture of tomorrow. Like tomorrow, y'all, we are at the starting line. Like, literally, I can't unsee it. So Maggie's in her dress, Joe's in his tux, like. Jesus is cutting the rope, and I see up ahead of them, it is this path. Like, it is lit up. They are not veering to the left or the right. They are hooked arms with the Father, and they are walking up this hill, y'all. And you look at the top of the mountain, which, hilarious, we're literally in the mountains. I didn't even realize that. They're in the mountains. And you look up to the top, y'all, and there is this house, and it is lit up. It is like a lighthouse. And y'all, the Lord was just speaking of, like, this is what y'all are going to do together. Y'all are literally a city on a hill that cannot be hidden. Like, people are going to be looking at y'all and seeing how y'all live y'all's lives, and they will do it differently because of how powerful y'all are. And y'all are kingdom mates. Like, it's unbelievable. That was the Lord. No, seriously. So when as we're praying for them, as we're praying for them, just knowing that, like, let's just believe this. Like, that's what y'all are. And y'all have been so faithful to walk on this path because y'all been listening to him every step of the way through it. And this marriage is based on the foundation of straight up Jesus and marriage alone, because y'all have not been worrying about one party, worrying about how you look, Maggie, Joe, what the apartment looks like. I mean, it's been straight up. Y'all are on mission in Tuscaloosa for the Father, and now literally going to be living your life for him, and that's on the foundation it's built. So I'm so proud of y'all. I'm honored to be y'all's best friends. Joe, I promise you, just I'll give you a month before I knock on your door in Tuscaloosa. Actually, maybe a week. But I love y'all, and I'm forever in y'all's corner. Forever.
Oh, man. It's a lot to go after. Great job, May Rose. First of all, I want to say thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Williams. I love y'all so much, especially right now. They've been like second parents to me for the last 10 years, and I told Joe when I got here, I was like, I'm glad to see you, but where are your parents? Also, Mr. and Mrs. Green, we're also happy to be here, and just thank you in advance for tomorrow. The venue's beautiful. This whole town's beautiful. It's going to be a lot of speeches tonight, but thank goodness the longest-winded person in the room doesn't have a speech. Do you, Joe? My name's Will, if you don't know me. I did not go to Alabama. I went to Auburn. And I live in Denver, so I'm never really around, but when I am, you can pretty much find me wherever Joe and Maggie are. I was also Joe's assistant track coach in high school. Joe, as we know, was 7-time state champion, 2 different things. He won a lot, but I was on the track team. I just didn't have anything else to do when it was finally his time to go, because he would wait for all of us plebes who couldn't throw the disc further than 20 feet. He would wait for all of us to go, and I would sit behind him with a camera, and I knew what you could do, what you were supposed to do. I just couldn't do it. So the 2 of us together made a pretty good team. I want to start off with some facts you may not know about Joe. Back in high school, back when he was an Auburn fan, junior year, Joe decided he wasn't going to cut his hair for over a year. It culminated in an afro that was just not containable by the headband you wore with it. And apparently unrelated to that same year, Joe decided he wasn't going to kiss a girl until his wedding day, his first wedding kiss. We all know that didn't last. The whole Mountain Brook Piggly Wiggly knows that didn't last. But by the way, it was a beautiful engagement. A beautiful engagement. Mrs. Green at the rehearsal was complimenting the groomsmen on being early. So I want to be the first to congratulate Joe for being on time for the first time in your life. Big steps, really. You had a woman like Maggie, you're really growing up. Joe and Maggie's relationship, I can only describe it as a joy to watch and be a part of. I call it the Joe and Maggie experience because, I mean, all of us here, man, we're having a good time, and that's not exclusive to this weekend. I remember the first date like it was yesterday. I'm sitting in my bed doing some work or something late, and Joe's calling me, and he's like, bro, remember that girl I told you about from the bonfire? I was like, yeah. Because, again, I live in Colorado, so I've never met Maggie, don't know who she is. I've Insta-stalked her, saw that she had like 1,000, 2,000 followers. I was like, you're asking out an influencer? He's just like begging me to calm him down, help him out, and I'm like, all right, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. And Joe is also very afraid of heights, very reasonable. But I've been on the side of a mountain in Colorado with him. I've been on top of a rooftop with you. But that's the most nervous I have ever heard Joe. It's safe to say it went well. And next time I talked to him, like 2 weeks later, we just spent 2 hours on the phone talking about the first couple dates with Maggie. And I literally knew then, I was like, this is going to be Mrs. Williams. Next time I'm in town, I got to meet her. So what'd they do? Joe and little Green Bean over there picked me up at the airport, and we went and got a drink and got to know each other. And we went to Jack Brown's in Birmingham. Let me tell you, when it was time to go, Maggie grabbed her purse and she just walked out. And Joe was left putting his card in his wallet, like, getting everything situated. And I just looked at him and go, man, you're in trouble. But we all know the way Joe talks about Maggie is, you can just tell from the first 2 words, she's special. So very recently I had dinner with Joe, and I just asked him, I said, what are your 2 favorite things about Maggie? And he just goes, oh. And I sat there for like 3 minutes just like sipping on my tea, like, this is going to be a while. I knew the first thing, I said 2 because I knew that number 1 is her faith. And just what a powerhouse of a Christian woman, man. But he just goes, well, obviously her faith. I was like, yes. And then he goes, man, she just loves me so well. And then he goes, and she just loves everyone just so well. And, Joe went on and on and on and on and on. But when he finally let me speak, I looked at him and said, so you just love who she is. You love who she is as a person in her faith. You love who she is to you, and you love who she is to everybody else. And I was just like, all right, so you ready to get married? Joe and Maggie, they share such a pure, honorable, faith-filled love. I can't wait for tomorrow. We've been waiting for tomorrow for 10 years. I just don't have any more words. Just cheers to the Williams.
So I hit that really smooth, like, bathroom into here transition. I was standing right here the entire time. I'll just sit this right here, if you don't mind. But so Jimmy came out and was talking about how he's an 8 or whatever, and your boy's a 2, so I'll be surprised if I get like 5 minutes into this. So let's try to prolong the emotions as long as possible. I'll get a funny story. Should we give him the Coe shotgun, like an actual shotgun, not, which one? A Coe. Yeah, let's go shotgun. And so we'll go shotgun. So I didn't really grow up in a household like with guns. Like my dad didn't take me hunting. My dad didn't, you know what I mean? It just wasn't like that. And so I went turkey hunting for my first time, like my sophomore year of college or something. Me and Joe were roommates. And I went once, didn't even see a turkey. I just was like, this is the best thing ever. I'm going to go spend like $200 and the cheapest shotgun that you got, you know? And so I go and I get one, and Joe's like, hey man, I will be with you in the morning, and I will take you to a shooting range, and we're gonna shoot that shotgun. Because he knew how excited I was about it. And so we go, and you know, your boy has no gun experience really. And we're just thankful Joe's here. And so I was just like, I got to practice like how you kill a turkey, you know what I mean? I was like, I got like sat on the ground, and like I had my shotgun out, and I shot once, and then I was like talking to Joe. I was like, that was good, right? That was good, right? I had my shotgun like, you know, on my pelvis, and he was like, that was great, dude. I was like, yeah. And geek. Shot straight up in the air, dude. Swear. And as much as me and Joe were dying out laughing, he was like, you almost killed me. And I was like Providence, right? You know what I mean? Like, we're here, you know, we're good. And, but no, it was so funny. And we'll never live that day down. I didn't sleep for like 3 nights because I was so terrified. But let's, to bring it to what this whole night's about, you know, I think everybody knows in this room that it goes without being said when it comes to Joe, you know. Like if the whole world is deaf, you know, we're all making jokes about how much he talks, but, you know, if the world was deaf, we'd still see Jesus in Joe. And like the way that he lives and what he does in our lives is just unmatched. And I can say, as his like little brother that he never really had, you know, the best thing the Lord ever did was soften Joe's heart towards me. I was like easily the worst behaved, most annoying kid in Asbury's youth group. You know, I was there for like the girls and the food, you know? And so then Joe comes, and so I'm working here. And but no, so Joe actually couldn't stand me in the beginning. And the best thing that the Lord did was soften his heart towards me. And I mean that, because after that, I just wanted to be around him. You know, like he was the cool kid in the youth group, like the cool older guy, you know? Like my older brother knew who he was and knew what he was about. And I just wanted to be around him. You know, like I straight up did track so I could hang out with Joe more. And he took me to school. And I know it cramped his style, but it made me the coolest kid ever. Was that he took me to school every single day my freshman year of high school. And, you know, whether it was like talking till 3 in the morning in that car or getting in that car at 5 a.m. for 21 DOP, like, I mean, I got saved in a 2004 Xterra, guys. You know what I mean? Like, Joe, seriously, it did smell like dead animals, though. Jimmy's right. But it smelled like, you know, it was good, though. Whatever, I guess. So Joe, seriously, like, you know, if you look back at our friendship, whatever, in college or high school, when I was in freaking middle school, you know, we never watched the television. Like, every single time we hung out, it was just we'd talk, man. And, like, every single thing that I ever went through, every single season, every single moment, Joe's always there. And, you know, I heard the shepherd's voice through Joe. You know, the sheep know the shepherd's voice. Me being that sheep, Lord would have to get really creative if he didn't use Joe to reach me. And the Lord reached me through Joe. And, like, I like, give you all that credit, man. And no matter what it was, you know, and whether it was something Joe said, dude, that's the dumbest thing ever, don't do it. Your boy did it. And then I come back, and he was like, dude, I love you so much. Like, you know, he's always there. And then we ended up being roommates, and I just, like, by no means, I seriously, like, I know everyone says, like, this is, like, a common thing to say, but I genuinely, and you know this, I have no idea where I'd be if it wasn't for you. I seriously mean that. Like, Miss Williams, like, your son, the time he put into me, and, like, what he showed me, it's unbelievable, and it's something that can never be repaid. You know, I could get you the best wedding gift. I can answer every phone call you give me, dude, but I don't know. Like, I should have prepared better, I guess. I'm speechless. And I'm so proud of you, man. And Maggie, you know, me and Joe were like, dude, there's no way that our wives have talked more about, whoever they are going to talk more about our marriage than we have. You know, me and Joe are suckers. So, like, we're just so emotional. And so we've been talking about it forever. And Maggie, like, you're the one for him. I mean, I remember my first time going to one when it was at like Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. And it's like way back in the day. It's my first time ever going. Like Drake invited me, and I'm like walking out, and someone's like, "Oh, you look like Ryan Somerville," and I was like, "Okay." And so I was like, "He must be really good looking." And so I'm walking out, and literally like, sorry Joe, this really pretty girl just walks out, and she's like, "Hey, what's up? Like, do you need help with anything?" I was like, "Honestly, I'm just looking for my car. Like, I have no idea where I'm at." And so we start chatting, and let it be said about Joe and Maggie, you know him for 10 seconds, you know him for 10 years. And y'all's house, man, is going to be full of hospitality and comfort, because like y'all, that's what y'all embody, man. So like, I love each of y'all so much. To the Greens, you got a good one in Joe, and to the Williams, you got a good one in Maggie. So I love both of y'all so much.
Maggie. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna cry. Yo, I hate speaking in front of people because I love Maggie. But when I think of Maggie, I think it's so steadfast. Like, you're the most precious person in the entire world. Like, you must, like, when I think of you, I think of someone that's so fun and so, like you're just so, like, steadfast. Like, you are, and Joe, like, you have found the most perfect wife. But, like, it's just my best friend. I love her forever. I just love you. Oh. The wing. When I think of Maggie, I just think how special she is. I think we all know how special Maggie Green is. Obviously, we're all here because of that. And I think everything I'm about to say about Maggie, I've realized people have already confirmed it about Joe as well. So Maggie and I actually were not friends until probably my junior year in college. I had probably hit the lowest point of my life. And I remember the Holy Spirit just saying, go talk to Maggie Green. And the reason I needed to talk to Maggie Green was because she was the most faithful, obedient person walking on her faith. And in that moment, it wasn't someone that preached at me or, tried to shove the gospel down my throat. It was because she was so obedient in her faith that I knew who to go to. So that night, I remember I went to one T-Town, and I didn't tell anyone I was looking for Maggie Green, and Shay Tate walks up to me and says, hey, do you want to sit by Maggie? There's an open seat. And I was like, oh, thank God, yes. I was like, I don't know where I am. I was like, I don't know what this church thing is, but I got to talk to Maggie Green. Sat by Maggie the whole time. I'm like shaking, and everyone's hands are raised, and I'm just like, I got to talk to Maggie. Like, what else do we know? So we went to her apartment. Even Jessica Proctor walks in and was like, everyone okay? And I was like, no. Jessica's like, okay, I'm going to see y'all later. But me and Maggie, I pronounce it, take my voice loud. We stayed up and talked the whole night. And the thing that sticks out to me that's so different about Maggie and Joe is that Maggie just didn't give up one night. It's so easy, I think, when someone comes to you to say, like, I need to talk. It's so easy to be like, okay, I'm there, I'm your girl, I know that's me. And then when they call the second day, you're kind of like, oh, I'm really tired, I'm really hungry, I don't have much time to give. Maggie let me sleep in her bed that night. She didn't even know me. She took me to 21 days of prayer. 6 a.m. I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing at church. Like, going, Maggie's like, here, there's this dry shampoo. And I'm like, oh, that smells so good. Like, let's do that. Like, I'm like, oh, there's some cute boys here. Like, I need to start being a 10 to get a 10. And anyways, I was like, let's go. But Maggie took me under her wing. And it's just crazy. I can say I'd probably be in a ditch if it wasn't for Maggie. She saved my life. And it wasn't just that day she took me through his prayer. It was every season the rest of college. She picked me up. She led me through Freedom Group. She was there to get baptized, and the Greens have been there for so much more. And what's just crazy is because of Maggie's influence in my life, the impact my dad was like, I'm not a conference guy. And Maggie was head of conferences. And Maggie's in the house like, no, I planned this whole conference. You got to come, I'll get you in. My parents are like, oh, you'll get us in. They're like, yeah, we'll get you front row. My parents come. My dad is like, oh, I'm a conference guy. And we're like, and Maggie, and like, got my mom in a small group, talk about life change in the Brown household because of Maggie Green. And so I owe, seriously, my life to you. And I see the same thing in Joe the whole time I was thinking about what I was going to say about Maggie. Sounds like what Ian was saying about Joe. And I think that just shows how powerful y'all's relationship is going to be. Just y'all pastoring people at such a young age, and now to see what God has called y'all, Tuscaloosa, and y'all pastoring people, it's just like so prophetic. I was like, Maggie, you already got your practice out on me. I was like, I'll come up there and be like, I was a girl's lifesaver. It's like, but it's just so cool to see that y'all have already been doing y'all's job for your whole life. I mean, 3 years old with Kaylin, to college and everything. So I'm friends with these people, all known as my best friends because of Maggie Green. And I said, I couldn't be friends with these people. They won't love me. And now I'm like, these are my people. So I love y'all. I wish the best to y'all. And I can't wait to see all the lives that y'all change for sure.
All right, so I think intermission's over now. All right, so I met Joe in 2004. 2004 was a great year. So last season of Friends, Hey Ya was at the top of the chart, and I met Joe and Williams. I had just moved to Birmingham in 2004. New kid, new school. I was nervous about it. Didn't realize Joe was also a new kid in a new school. I was scared. Everybody knows there's one new kid that's going to be like the weird new kid, and I didn't want it to be me. And then I met Joe, and I was like, I think I'm good. Joe and I weren't friends off the jump. Took a while. Like over time, he just invited me to do something. I'd invite him to do something. I kept coming back, to spend the night at his house because I just wanted those sausage balls. Every time I was like, I got to get those. Of course I'm coming. I woke up one day and I was like, oh, I have a best friend. How about that? I got to see Joe grow so much. So much. See you decide to follow the Lord, not just follow, but chase and bring everybody around you with him. Right? Got to see your work ethic. Maggie, I'm sure you know about Joe's work ethic. He just grinds. He just knows he's going to run after something. Got to see him win Best Legs in Miss Congeniality in a drag beauty contest. You're marrying a pretty husband. And just throughout the years, we've had this conversation multiple times. It's like, Connor, there's this girl. I was like, really? As the conversations keep happening, I get less excited. I'm a skeptic. I'm just that guy. And finally, it happens one time, and it's Maggie. He was like, Connor, there's this girl. I was like, okay, well, just tell me about it. He was like, she's beautiful. She loves the Lord. I was like, okay, heard that before. What else? And he goes, she calls me on my crap. He goes, she'll just call me out. And I'm like, yes. Finally, someone to share the burden. Yes. It was just been such a blessing, Maggie, to get to know you and to see y'all's relationship and to see y'all grow and start this journey together. And so I'm just so excited and blessed to be a part of it. So here's to sharing the burden.
Hey, I'm Morgan. I'm one of Maggie's friends. So literally this just hit me. I was thinking about memories of Joe and Maggie, And one of my first memories I thought of, I was like, of course my first memory is Maggie. It's actually not, it's Joe. Emily and Joe, I went to Oak Mountain, so same park, Rival High School. And I was on the dance team, and I remember being at a basketball game one time, and all of a sudden, Emily and Joe come out in like these rapper outfits, and I'm like, first of all, who in the world let the same park guy come on our court with an Oak Mountain person? I'm like, Emily's a traitor. And then now we have the same park guy on the court, and they're rapping the song, and I was like, I never saw Joe's face again until went to college, and I remember seeing him, it was like, I don't even remember, freshman or sophomore year, I took him to a day party, and I was like, this is the guy that rapped on the basketball court. And so that was just a funny memory, but Maggie actually was one of my really best friends freshman year of college. She was one of my first friends in Alpha Game, and she's just been such a blessing ever since. And we just share, I don't know, we have like this face you're making right now. We just have this little special bond. We'll just look at each other and like, all of a sudden we just start crying. I don't know why. But she's just been the biggest blessing, and her family has too, being in Birmingham. And even within like the last few months, it's like hard things have happened, and just still from freshman year to like now, it's, you know, I think everybody said it, she's been steadfast from both of you on both ends. And I'm so thankful that Maggie found somebody like Joe, and I'm blessed to call both of you my friends. So I can't wait to come crash that apartment in Tuscaloosa and come hang out with y'all, and I just wish the best for y'all. Amazing. I love y'all.
All right, y'all. My name is Drake Grisham, and this is my wife, Carly. Yes. So I want to start off by saying, unlike Ian, it doesn't take me straddling the ground, holding a shotgun in different ways just to be able to shoot a shotgun, Joe. So you're welcome, all right? Ian made a story out of a shotgun. Hey. My wife? Hey, shoot the shotgun. Shoot the shotgun. But I just want to start off by saying to the Williams and to the Greens, we love y'all so much. I'm a crybaby, so the longer I'm up here, I'm just going to bawl my eyes out. Joe, there's a quote that comes to my mind when I think of you, and it's by some no-name named Dabo Sweeney. And it says, those who do the common things in life in an uncommon way demand the attention of the world. And so, Joe, you mean so much to me. You do. There's something story. I cried. I thought it was one of them. The first time, so me and you both spent talk. And you're right above me. And here all y'all talking about, oh, Joe's a track guy. He played football first. I'm like, I don't know football team. Did Joe play football? That didn't last too long, guys. That didn't last too long. But so we get to Alabama, and I get saved my freshman year of college, and Carly and I, we've had like 3 different breaks. And so I think this is when we're on our break, and me and Joe are talking, and we have just one of the best conversations ever over apple whiskey. And I love it. Y'all should love it too. And Joe looks at me and goes, Drake, man, like we went to the same elementary school, middle school, and high school and college actually. And he goes, we've never had like, serious conversations. We've never been friends like this. And that one conversation changed the trajectory of our life. And from there it was Joe. I was my sophomore year. I was in a class of statistics that he maybe never even took. And he's tutoring me on a class that he never even took. And so that just shows Joe's the most selfish guy, one of the most selfish guys I've ever met. And it's that moving on into Joe. I put on, it's a freshman 15, right? And so my junior year, I put on my junior 25. Let's call it. And it's from Domino's. and Joe creates a song called the Drake. It's a Domino's song. And he goes, Ian, let's sing it, ready? Dominos, Domino's, it is the best. And he's playing his guitar, just strumming his guitar at my own birthday party. at roasting me in front of 50 of my friends. Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's like Drake's got a belly, but we love you anyway. Whatever, something like that. And so, but just whatever he did, man, it was full-fledged. It was everything. It was perfect. And so just it's incredible. And so Carly and I get married a month ago, roughly, and just leading up to the wedding, the number one guy texting me, the number one guy calling me, but few of the guys in the room, Joe Williams is calling me. He's getting up on. He should be getting up on time. And he's saying, Joe, how can I serve you? What can I do for you? Bro, you were doing. And what's it shocking? And so I just want to say, man, I love you so much. And after tomorrow, it's just the beginning, and we're going to go so much closer to each other. And y'all, in fact, so much. Maggie, like, you and Carly, you remind me a lot of Carly. Everything these people are saying, you're a very uncommon man with God, and that you love and serve, and but you're not afraid to get married. You're not afraid to go where a lot of people want to go. And so I just want to say thank you for that, and thank you for letting Carla, when she was not in her best place, and when she was, you were there for her and for us, and I love you and Darren so much. And Carla wants to say a little something.
Maggie, you know I hate this kind of stuff, but there's no one else I would do it for. Hello, my name is Carly. I'm Carly Grisham, as of a month ago. Maggie was actually my first friend in college. So what most of y'all don't know is that Joe and I have been friends since I was in second grade, and he was in fourth, and he's actually been my next door neighbor since I was in second grade.
Okay.
So I have a lot of memories with Joe, riding our bikes around the neighborhood, climbing trees in your backyard, riding down boxes in our neighbor's yard. But my favorite, you know what I'm about to say, is when you came to my cheer camp every summer. Yeah, every summer I would throw a cheer camp for the whole neighborhood. He came every year. And you know you're going to deny this, but you know you wore my mom's little cheer uniform. I have pictures.
She swears on it. Yeah. There's a way.
But, so I just love having those memories with you, Joe. And I always prayed that you would marry one of my best friends one day. Another funny thing is that we knew for a long time before y'all did that you were going to be together. Y'all know that we talked to both of y'all separately many times, saying, Maggie, there's this guy Joe, he's really cute, you should talk to him. We said the same thing to you, and y'all were like, okay, chill. And so we finally were like, okay, we'll just trust the Lord with it. And I remember one night, Maggie, you were over at my parents' house, and we were having a taco night, and Joe saw your car out front. So he decided to walk on over. And we're all sitting there talking with my family, and you said, Joel, I think I've been looking for the wrong girl this whole time. I need a little blonde fireball. And we're like, Maggie Green? Like, that is Maggie Green. And so, and what's crazy is that a year later, on that exact day, he took you on your first date. On that same day. I just think that's cute.
That's cute.
Have a whole speech. What's next? All right. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. Maggie, you have been the most constant friend for 7 years now. To the good, the bad, everything you're right there. You are not a friend that's just for a season. You are a best friend for life. I'm gonna wrap it up, I swear. But I I think it's really cute that our husband, well, your own husband, are best friends too. And then a month ago, y'all got to stand next to us on our wedding day, and now we get to be here for both of y'all. We love you so much. We can't wait to be live together forever, to raise babies together, to do all the things. Y'all are our people. And cheers to the will. Oh wait, no, I forgot a good part. I love you, my snuggy buggy, Miss Williams' beautiful bestie bride. Cheers to the Williams.
Okay. Oh, Mom. Okay, I just want to start out with a commonality in this room of when everybody talks about Maggie and Joe. There's so much laughter, which I just think that that's the epitome of y'all's relationship, is the joy that y'all bring around to everybody. And I could not agree with one more. The Joe and Maggie experience. Like, they invite everybody into their relationship. Joe is so intentional with Maggie's friends, and Maggie is with Joe's friends. And Maggie and I met freshman year, honestly, through Morgan. We were roommates, and we got to know May Rose and Maggie very well. But as me and Maggie got older, we got closer. We got really close after college when we lived in Guilford. And that was just such a special time. We would giggle, we would stay up. I still felt like we were in college. And through Maggie, I got close to the Greens, and it has just been such a blessing in my life, and the long talks and the wisdom that comes from Maggie. Joe, you've got years full of wisdom. I mean, the generational wisdom is just going to come. And I cannot thank you enough, Maggie, for just being one of those people that I can pick up the phone. We were driving to Carly's rehearsal dinner, and I was calling Maggie because it was a little bit of a drive, and I was like, just started crying. She's like, are you crying? And I was like, yeah. I was like, we're getting married. All these life things are changing. But it's such an exciting time, and I could be up here like you know, I really am speechless because I could be here for hours just talking about how much I love y'all. But I do want to point out how awesome Joe is and how incredible of a man that you two have raised. Met him in college as well, just always full of life and lights up a room. But he did ask one time, a couple of us, just like, how can I love Maggie well? And I was astonished at this guy being so bold to take Maggie's friends out, a couple of her friends just asking a few questions and then saying, hey, like, what can I do? And we're like, you know what, she's been through some really hard times the past year or so, and all you can do is be there for her side, be there by her side and speak the word first and know that this is right where you're supposed to be, and know that she's going to do the same. I love you both so much. I can't wait to be in Tuscaloosa all the time. You're a world changer, kingdom shaker. The both of you are going to do so much in Tuscaloosa. All the love, cannot wait for tomorrow. Cheers.
What's up, y'all? My name is it's Daniel, and thank you for the Greens and Wings putting on this awesome weekend. We all really appreciate it. We love being here. I was a teammate and roommate of old Joe Williams over there, old Joe Cephas, and our friendship really ignited the summer of 2015, and we were in the East Edge apartment, and we were talking about the Lord, like always, and it had just hit me, you know, the power of God, the power of Jesus, just came over this one conversation, and the next day, Joe brought me my first Bible, and I still have it, still read it, and it was that day our relationship really became rooted in something deeper, you know. It was rooted deeper than all of our memories, so many of them, the campfires, the talks, our Saturday mornings when we'd wake up and we'd literally not have any clothes on. We'd have a pair of short shorts and we'd sit out in the driveway, and two large overweight men grilling sausages and cheddar biscuits every Saturday. A gallon of milk in one hand, always whole. And we just waved to our neighbors as they drove by. And they just thought we were the strangest kids on the block. And through Razor Day, we used to have this Razor scooter. And the whole gymnastics team would come over the house. And we'd see who could take the most laps around our living room. on one push. And we have tape on the floor for each gymnast and all of us, everyone's personal best. And, oh man, one of the countless hours we spent in the gym together, just in so much pain and misery. But, because we were rooted through Jesus and through such a deeper meaning, we could push each other past all the barriers that, the average Joe couldn't even think of, And, shoot, there's one more thing. Yeah, Joe, you're a world changer. You changed my life, just like everyone here. You lit the way, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So I love you, Maggie. You got a great one. And I gotta share one just embarrassing fact about Joker. So this Joker, right? Anybody here that's eaten with Joe knows that this guy eats unusually loud. I mean, it sounds like a hurricane is going on inside of his mouth. And Maggie, I hope that you can enjoy every moment of that for the next 70 years. And I love y'all. Can't wait to crash on your couch in T-Town. Cheers.
Okay, I'm Jessica. I'm going to keep it as short as I can. I know it's kind of like, ooh, Ryan, what's your name? I'm going to keep it as short as I can because I know we're all trying to not be here too late. But for us, our friendship really took off when we went to California with Papa and Mamie. And we had so much fun, but on that plane ride, she fell asleep, I think, and I take terrible naps. I'm not good at it. And so she handed me The Sacred Search, which I think we already talked about that book anyway. But I started reading that book and got so convicted so quick because I was dating the wrong guy and definitely needed to break up with him, but I was with him for a couple more years after that. But from that moment, it was like, that was the first time Maggie was like the instrument of like a very, very influential part of my life. And like she was the vessel that God used. And so it's kind of tough to use, so I can handle this. But I'll hold on to what that book said and that week meant to me and the conversations we had from many years, really, until a lot changed in my life. But throughout that time, like I just had a lot of bitterness in my heart towards your family and your church, not your actual family. I love the Green Spirit Church family, and I just was going through a lot with trying to figure out what I wanted to do about all that. But throughout everything, never did I ever feel like I was on the outside. And I think that just speaks volumes to the person that you guys have raised, is that even if you're not on the inside yet, like it's not a come join us on the inside, come be saved, King of Jesus, like it's great over here. They like come around to you and want to make sure that they're with you until you're ready to come in. It's not a far-reaching arm. It's a making sure that I'm right beside you. And you did that for years. I mean, it took years. It took me not living with you anymore for me to finally come around. But once again, an instrument of that was Christmas Eve with your family and doing communion. When I was really, really alone and just had a hard year, living all alone in Birmingham and all this kind of stuff. But just being with your family and the influence that you guys had on me that day, but that was built up over the years, and just kind of making a Christmas truce with all the bitterness in my heart, and then joining the church, and then just immediately plugging me into a small group with your mom, and all these like, everyone was above 30 at least, and I was just a little child and I didn't know anything, but once again, just encountered so much growth because of something that you did. So it's so cool that I think just all the gifts in my life, the hugest, most recent gifts over the past few years, you played such a huge role in them, and you're not just a friend, I mean, you really are like a sister to all of us here, and the reason why we're all up here talking for so long is because you just mean that much to all of us. And then when you finally started dating Joe, it just made sense, and we hated for so many years to see you hurt by guys that weren't Joe. And we didn't know that it was Joe we were waiting on, but once he was there, it just made sense. And I think from the second y'all came over and we made those enchiladas with the sausage, it's that good. But Joe still ate like 6, and so did Gray. It was so great. And Maggie were like, I got it. But just the way that you both love people fully without even knowing them yet, is such a beautiful picture of the gospel. So we love you guys. Gray and I love you both. Thank you for letting Gray just be a part of the groomsmen and everything too. That speaks volumes to who you guys are. We just love y'all so much. I'm so excited for y'all.
So I want to start by saying thank you to the Greens and the Williams for tonight and this weekend. It's already been amazing, and I know everybody is so excited for what tomorrow is going to hold, and it's beautiful. So thank you to both of you guys for putting this on. So I met Joe. My name's Keegan. I met Joe in the summer of 2017. I was entering my senior year of college. Joe had already graduated. And I would say that mine and Joe's friendship went off to a flying start. And for those of you that do know Joe, he is petrified of heights. And I am the opposite. So our first night hanging out together, I somehow, and by the grace of God, convinced Joe to go skydiving. So not hike up a mountain, jump out of a plane at 14,000 feet. And so a week later, I texted him, I'm like, hey, Groupon, Joe loves the deal. Groupon, we get the price down to this, we get a couple friends, we're in. He's like, let's do it. And I was shocked that he committed, and he did. And so within a month of me even meeting Joe Williams, we are in Coleman, Alabama, getting ready to jump out of a plane. And so we get in the plane, we take off, and I turn around and look at Joe. Of course, we're a couple thousand feet up in the air. The door is still open, and he's like, the door's open. It's like, hey, the door is not supposed to be open. I'm like, we're all right, we're good. And so I leave the plane first, and we're flying. I'm going through the air. Of course, when you jump out of the plane, it's total surrender. It's cool seeing Joe and the way that he lives his life is total surrender. And so seeing you experience that in your walk with Christ, and then just seeing it in real life too, jumping out of the plane, is so cool. But I noticed when I got to the ground that Joe was already there. And so Joe was about a year out of college, so he was in between Track Joe and Now Joe. And so he was like, bro, I flew down there. He's like, I've been here for 4 minutes. I just got it down. I'm like, you broke terminal velocity, like you were moving. But when I look back, and we've created so many memories over these short 3 years that are just amazing. When I look back, what I see through mine and Joe's friendship is that Joe has been a leader in my life and helped me, almost as an older brother, guide me through some of the toughest times in my life. Graduating college, Joe talks about the freshman year of life that no one really talks about. When you graduate college, nobody's like, hey, they warn you about freshman year of high school, freshman year of college. No one tells you really about what the freshman year after the college looks like. And so Joe helped me battle that. And I got to be there and kind of see that through him too. And just hearing tonight what all of you girls have had to say about Maggie, you were that leader too for all of them. And so seeing you two combined, it's just what a powerful force you guys are going to be for the kingdom. And I know for a fact that God will use you guys to impact so many people in Tuscaloosa. And even though I am sad you're moved away from Birmingham, I know the impact you guys will have. I'm excited to see it and to see how much you guys grow together. I'm just honored to be a part of this. If you guys would, cheers to the Williams. I love you guys so much, and I'm so excited for tomorrow.
Hot. Mike is hot. So I wasn't supposed to be here until tomorrow. Move some things around. Alright, so first impression of Joe, no offense to anyone. I'm at the top of the second floor of the athletic complex. And it's just, I'm like, these guys are losers, like total tool bags, like whatever. And then I end up meeting Joe later on. This was Pudgy Joe, by the way. It was like 325 to lift a bus. I'm like, who is this? And ended up being one of the just the truest friends I've ever had. Incredible friend who's always just present. And he's there for me and my family. He loves my daughter just in an incredible way. And so just anytime someone invests in me and my family and my life, it just means the world. And he's always been there. And one thing I could say just for Joe is that he's been present. And that meant the world. And still does. And if that's one of the many things he's going to bring to this marriage is that he's present. And that he's not just a Pudgy Joe back in the day, but he's a good guy. He loves the Lord. He loves you, Maggie. And man, I'm honored to be here, honored to be a part. And, I love you guys so much. Joe's probably gonna split his pants tomorrow. He
he does the splits like every time like dance floors come. So I don't know what's about to happen, but tomorrow's gonna be fun. We love y'all so much, and Savannah couldn't be here, but man, we're honored to be here, and we love y'all. Can't wait to see what Lou does.
I'll make it quick because I know we've all been listening to all of that. I know this is sentimental. I know. Literally, I DM'd Kleenex and was like, "Will you sponsor me?" Because all my best friends are getting married. I can't handle it. I need somebody to catch my tears, and they didn't answer, so it's okay. It's fine. I'm not salty about it. They didn't answer me. I'm upset. So if anybody knows, I'm good. But I'll honestly start with senior year of high school. I feel like I went through a hard time, and I just remember wanting to go to college. And I prayed the whole year. I was like, Jesus, I pray for godly friends. Jesus, I pray for godly friends. Like if you went back through my journal, you would see I was like, Lord, I pray for godly friends. And, Jesus brought Maggie to my life. When I think of Maggie, I think of like a spicy firecracker. She's one of those people who you just listen to her talk and you're like, wow, I want to know Jesus because she just makes Christianity so attractive. You're like, wow, I love her heart. Like, I want to go read my Bible. And back in March, I know the whole pandemic happened, and I came home from New York, and I feel like I just went from like 100 to 0, and I was back in Birmingham living with my parents, and I remember one day I was like, am I Christian? I just like literally had an identity crisis, and I was like honestly struggling, and I called Maggie, and I just makes me cry. She literally sat there for an hour and just like walked through the Bible with me. She was like teaching her day. She was like literally talking about the basics, and sometimes we just need a reminder, but she just sat there and she was like, you're gonna be okay, like God loves you, like God is for you, like you have a purpose, and that's just kind of heart Maggie has, because when you're down, she's gonna pick you up, and God is just gonna pick you up when you're down. So, sorry, I always cry when I talk, but I just wanted to share that story, because I feel like that's Maggie's heart, and what she identifies with, and I just love her so much. She literally is like, every time I talk about her, I'm like, I love Maggie, I want to put her in my pocket. I think people think I'm kidding. But like, I literally am like, I love you so much, I wish I could just carry you with me all day. So I love you, Maggie, Joe. I feel like I've known Joe since literally high school, and I love you, Joe, you know I love you. But I love you, Maggie and Joe, and I know you're all going to change the world together, and that's just a glimpse of how much I love Maggie and her heart. So I just wanted to share, but I love you. Okay.
Alright, so I'll make it quick. I know we're all tired and ready to go home. But, so, for y'all who don't know me, I'm Hayden, aka Eagle. So I had the honor and privilege of not knowing Joe through college, but actually when we go into adulthood, we lived together for 2 years. And so me, Colin, and Joe all lived together at the Rise, had many bonfire nights there, and just great memories. One thing I gotta say to Maggie, there was a short period of time where me and Joe actually were living in the same room together, so Joe forgot to give the 60-day notice at an apartment. So, and I had to move out of the house I was living in, and he was like, yo, just move in with me for a month. I'm thinking, great, all right, this is cool. Well, 21 days of prayer was going on, and so don't set multiple alarm clocks, because after the story, you will understand why. So our beds, so we moved to this little small apartment, and Joe says, all right, just put your bed over here. There's 12 inches between me and Joe. And so I was getting up at 5 to go to prayer, and I would set 10 alarms to get up. And one morning, I hit snooze 6 times for an hour, and Joe just rolls over and says, Eagle, do not act like you're going to prayer. Go back to bed. All right, I guess I'm going back to sleep. So I just rolled back over, just cut my phone off. I'm like, well, that's just, one of many stories I have with Joe. And just a group of guys, and just, one thing, it's a funny story, but going to a serious moment, praying for years coming out of high school, I was like, going to college, a lot of people from my high school didn't go to Alabama, me and somebody went to the same high school. And, a few other handful of people. So, go Cougars. I prayed for friends, like just good godly people, and just many of these guys. But Joe's been one of those constant friends in since through college and adult life, and he's consistent. You're consistent, man. And Maggie, you're the same way. You both are just so consistent, and you're here, and you're like somebody said, you're present in every situation, every conversation. I think that's speaks what tonight is like you're consistent in everyone's life. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Life's going to take y'all in so many great places, and you're going to change so many lives. So that's all I have.
Hello. So my rehearsal dinner speech has been in the works since August 2019, and it started at 21 Days of Prayer, 21 DOP, and then I got to the front of the stage, grabbed my stack of prayer requests. Karen's praying for a new job. Check. Praying for you, Karen. John's praying for a freshman just started high school. Praying for you, John. Check. The next one is a familiar name, Joe Williams. Pretty bold because we're at the Grandview campus, not too big. He's hiding this from nobody. He wants the world to know. Joe Williams is praying for these specific things. I'm like, this is sweet. I love Joe. Honored to pray for him this morning. First point, praying for family. Second point, praying for job. Third point, I have the photo of the prayer card. I'll read it verbatim. I didn't take it because we're not supposed to take prayer cards, and I wanted to honor that. The third prayer request verbatim. I think I may be dating my wife. Affirmation that she is the person that God has for me to marry in a spirit of unity as we take next steps. Audibly, I gasped. I'm like, and like people are like, "Ma'am, are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm not okay." Prayer record, everybody see it. And I scan the room. I see Maggie in the corner seeking the Lord. I see Joe in the other corner seeking the Lord. And in that moment, it was such a cool representation of like, yes, y'all are pursuing each other, but in that moment, y'all are both pursuing God. And in that is what led y'all to each other. And just the verse that I think of y'all is in Hebrews when it talks about that confident, what is it? That faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. And y'all have just walked that out so clearly and so faithfully this past season in engagement, but also just with Tuscaloosa and so many things. Like there have been so many things that y'all know God has spoken to you in your heart. And it may not look like it may not seem like it, and it may not make sense, but y'all both are like, this is what God has called us to. We're going to walk in it faithfully, and we know this is the conviction God's placed in our hearts. So we're not going to do what we even see or what the world's telling us. We're going to stick to what God has. So I know y'all are going to continue living out that verse and living out God's truth for the rest of y'all's lives. And here's some more prayer requests. Maybe future kids will be on these prayer requests. Love y'all.
Hey! Hey! Okay, Maggie, Joe, I have this theory in life that all stars marry all stars. And when I met Maggie probably 2 years ago, I was like, this girl is an all-star. Like, everything about her all-star. I want to be her, I want to be around her, I crave her presence, like something about her is different. I love it. So, year flash forward, and I'm planning a trip to go to New York, and my sister lives in New York, and I'm like, I'm going to go see my sister. Maggie's like, oh, I'm going to go bump around in New York City with you. And I'm like, let's go, girl! So she comes with us, and we go see a show. And we get out of the show, and I sit with my sister, and Maggie and Peyton sit there. And I'm like, Emily, I want to go home. And Emily's like, I want to go home too. And Maggie runs up, she goes, the show is great. We need to go to Times Square. And I was like, and my sister lives in New York, it's like, we are not going to Times Square. Like, over my dead body are we going. And Maggie's like, I'm sorry, like, I've never seen it. We gotta go. And she's like, sprinting through New York City to Times Square. And I'm like, Emily, I really don't know why we're going here. Well, we get there, and sure enough, she's like, he's here somewhere. And I'm like, who's here? She's like, my phone's coming. He's here somewhere. I know he's here. Sure enough, Joe Williams comes walking through Times Square. And I'm like, is this a movie? And I remember leaving that night, and we all had this energy after seeing Joe, because I think Joe is that person, and I'm like, how is this happening? Like, Maggie's that person for everybody, and Joe is this person for us. Like, we just got a second wind. And my sister looked at Maggie and Peyton and was like, okay, listen, ladies. I live in New York City, so I'm not going to go after him, but one of you needs to jump on that. And I'm so glad that was Maggie, and that you ended up an all-star like Joe, because you are an all-star. You have changed my life. You have you're such a role model to me. I mean, even though we're the same age, I just look up to you, and you are such a powerhouse woman, and I just love it. And I'm so glad, like, I want to send my kids to, like, Camp Maggie and Joe one day when I'm older, because they're going to need it, like, little beavers. I love y'all. I wish y'all the best. I'm so glad that I know y'all. I'm lucky to know y'all. And thanks for letting me be a part of this.
All in.
My man. He's still in his hands like I'm going to pray over him or something. Just receive it, man. It's going to be great. So my name is Colin Bradley. I had a chance to meet you. That is not anybody else's name. It is my name. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you for everybody who has had a part in putting this on. I'm so very, very thankful to be here. Thank you for being born, Joe. Wouldn't be here if you weren't alive. So happy you're alive. So I've had the chance to live with Joe for the better half of 30 months. I like to refer to it like an infant. For some reason, you just talk about it in months for some reason. So 30 months, that's 2.5 years for people who don't know math. That's how that works. So, I've had the opportunity in living with Joe to walk through this entire dating season, with a lot of us have, with Joe and Maggie. But the good thing is I got to see Joe come home, and I got the after date Joe where he's just like, bro, I think this is it. He's like, his arm, he does this thing where he like puts his arm down, he's like, bro, this is it. Like, I think this is it. Yeah, and it's like, he just gets in this mode. And you just know you just have to settle in, and you know you're gonna be there for about 90 minutes. You're like, hold on, whatever I'm doing, I have to set it down. Joe's about to unload the last 4 hours on me, and I'm just gonna have to know, and I'm just gonna have to just pastor him in this moment and just let him know. So anyway, it is but honestly, like, it's a great time because you know what, we are. This is fun. So one of the things that Joe likes to do, right, is while we were living together, his thing was, hey man, what's the word? Just at random times. And most of the time it was like, I don't know, man, like, I'm tired. Like, I just woke up, I didn't even have coffee yet. What do you mean what's the word? Like, I'm still trying to get in the word before I can give you, like, what the word is. You know what I'm saying? And so, that was a very common thing. That was not an uncommon thing to get from Joe, but there was this one time I was being super holy and I was fasting for hours on end. That's not true, okay. But I was hanging out at the house. I think I was in my room cleaning or doing something silly, just living life. And I walk into the living room and Joe, he has this mindset on him, and you just know he's been spending time with the Lord. He's got his journal in his lap. And he looks up at me and he said, what's the word? And for whatever reason, total God thing, it really is. For whatever reason, I stopped. And I have a face that Joe says I make. But I stopped. Put my foot on the coffee table that Joe built in like 30 seconds out of a wood pallet. It was amazing. Just one day randomly. The word yes. And I'm just like, I don't know, that's like the word that was literally on my heart. And he was like, dude, you have no idea what that means to me. I was like, well, enlighten me, Joe. And so he proceeds to say, I've been looking for confirmation from the Lord, and he says all these things have fallen into place, and your word, yes, is a word from the Lord, and I need you to know that. And I was like, wow, amazing. So you're welcome, everybody here. Yeah. You're welcome. The Lord is good. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So Maggie, I want to love on you. You were good for Joe. We as sevens, Joe and I, we relate a lot, and we get in our heads. And you were very grounding for Joe. You were very, very grounding. And you keep all of his crazy thoughts in a line and in a train and heading in a good direction.
So I'm so thankful for you for ending me up with Joe. Maggie, I like to explain Maggie like a firework. A lot of people would use that, but not just any firework. I'm talking about like the old school like M100 fireworks. It's like a bomb. Like you light it and it like goes off. And you're like, okay, this is like really happening. Like she's in the room. Like she commands the presence of the room like big time. And so I want you to know, Joe, you got a good one in Maggie. I need you to know that. And one last thing I want to talk about is Joe's heart, because he is tender-hearted, everybody, if you didn't know that. No joke, the golf clubs that I played with today were a gift from Joe. And it was out of the kindness of his heart. I really think he was just wanting to show me how long he can drive the ball. So I think there was some hidden message in there that he wants to just show. But no, I'm very thankful for you. I'm very thankful for your heart. I'm very thankful that I've been able to spend 30 months with you. And you're good at everything, really. You really are. It's amazing. Joe just picks something up, and he's so good at it. And it's so frustrating. But not only are you good with things, Joe, but I mean, obviously you do them with excellence, but you also do them with integrity. And I want you to really receive that. You do stuff with integrity, and it's amazing to watch. And your integrity has influenced every other man who has spoken here tonight. And so I want you to know that we wouldn't be who we are if it weren't for you, buddy. So I'm gonna finish with this. It's one of my favorite quotes, and I love it. I just love it. So I'm gonna finish with this. Never lie, never steal, never cheat, and never drink. But if you must lie in the arms of someone you love. If you must steal away from bad company. If you must cheat death. If you must drink in the moment that take your breath away.
A few of these nights, so I know that you're probably sitting in your seat with a little bit of fatigue, but I just want to say a few things to some friends because y'all mean way too much for me to just be like, I'll just tell her later. I'm going to tell you now. So just bear with me for the next couple of minutes. But I was just trying to think about what to say, and kind of like some of the other girls here, I knew Maggie. I was actually a year older than her, so I rushed her, Mayrose, and a bunch of other girls in this room, and they just ended up being some of my best friends. But a super pivotal moment for me in college, I was already walking with the Lord, but I just found myself in a really, really hard season. And Mags, I don't know if you would say this, but I was in just I remember just being like, I'm the type of person that helps my people get out of trouble, and right now, I need that person. And I don't even think me and Maggie were like that tight, to be honest. And so it's kind of bold that I've called her, honestly. It really is. But I just remember being like, if I call this person, she will help. Like, even if she's helpless, she'll be able to help me. And so really through that season, I mean, I hate it for you, but we became best friends. Like the hardest season of my life, so it probably wasn't super life-giving for you at that point. But she just continued to be one of my best friends through that time. And just even, I don't know, just seeing Joe come into your life, and they got to come to Charlotte, which is where I live now. We spent a few hours together at a bakery, and Joe went back up to order like 3 different times. Because he kept wanting to try more of the macaroons, you remember? Yeah. Which is so girly and hilarious, but I love it. And so, just to close, there's just 2 things that came to mind, and they're not even things I need to encourage you with because you already do them. So I'm just gonna say, maybe just affirm or confirm what you're already doing, and just my hopes for you guys. But you're both so incredibly talented people. People have talked about it tonight, just from you being fearless, Maggie and Joe, you being great at school, great in athletics, like just leading your friends. You're both incredibly talented people. But my prayer for you is just that your best words and your best work and your best just things that you'll do in your life will not come from your own natural talents, but genuinely intimate moments with God. Because talents will change and seasons will change, but your relationship with God is just evergreen. And so I just pray that you would stay close to God, and just that
your best moments, your best ideas, the best ministry moments you have, and but just both things that you're gifted in and speaking, that wouldn't come just from you sitting there and being like, I feel really qualified to use this great quote, or this is what someone needs to hear, but truly God would just put it on your heart to share it, even if it's not the most profound thing, even if it's not the best, like, quotable thing. If God put it on your heart, you better say it. And so I just want to tell you that. And then secondly, I just pray that in Tuscaloosa, because I do believe that y'all are called there, just that you'll be on mission and you'll go find the Shay and the Marrows and the Ian and the Hannah and Hayden and just, I don't know, just all of us here, that you would see each of us just in Tuscaloosa, and that even though God hasn't called all of us to be there, He has called you there to continue that legacy. And just even what we have in this room, I always felt like we had something so special, so God ordained in college, and I feel like y'all are passing that torch. And I can't think of any people better to walk college students at the University of Alabama through that. So y'all are just the best of the best. I'm excited for tomorrow, but I'm honestly just excited for Monday and Tuesday and just everything. So I love you guys. I'm still hopeful that maybe God will call you to Charlotte. I love you both so much.
Okay, my name's Madison Turner, not a part of the wedding party, but if Joe was a girl, he would have been in my wedding, and if I was a boy, I would like to think I would have been in his. But Joe and I met my freshman year of college, and we both had been asked to be now, like, investors, I guess, at Calgary and Tuscaloosa. And this guy just took my phone and started taking tons of selfies on my phone. And I was like, who is this dude? Like, this is weird, whatever. And so I still have those pictures. I was looking through them the other night. I don't know what Cal's doing. But I was like, oh my gosh, like, I started crying. And Joe is that brother that I never had. And he is the brother that I never had, to be honest. I have prayed for Maggie for so long for you. People always thought it was weird that we were best friends, and I'm like, no. Like, when Kyle and I started dating, I was like, I have a best friend, and his name's Joe. And I just I prayed so hard for you. And I know that Joe prayed for Cal the same way that I prayed for Maggie. And Cal and I got married really fast, like in less than a year. We were like dating and married. And Joe was like, Maggie and Joe were dating, and he was like, I don't know how y'all did that. Like, I just don't know. I'm like, well, it's hard, but it's great. But I just, like, thinking back at college, Joe is in all of those memories with me, because we went on a lot of trips, almost threw a hairdryer at his head, like literally picked it up, like, and my mom was like, whoa, stop. So like literally we fought like brother and sister. But I walked through some seasons with Joe that I knew, I was like, I am going to be praying for his wife. Like, I'm going to start right now. And I think it was my junior year of college, and every girl, when I met a girl, I was like, it's not the one, it's not it. And then I met Maggie, and I was like, okay, that's it. Like, I called Joe, and I was like, y'all are meant to be together. And I am so thankful that we're all here. I didn't even think I would make the cut. I accepted it in my heart. I was like, I'm not going to be invited, it's fine. And then Joe called me, and he was like, you're invited. And I was like, and we weren't going to any weddings because of COVID. I was like, we're going to the wedding, we have to go. But I'm just so thankful for y'all. I know y'all are in Tuscaloosa, but just to drive away. And we're always in Birmingham for y'all. And the first year of marriage is so great. It's one that you'll always remember. You'll be living in your apartment, and like, I wouldn't trade that with, like, our first year of marriage was amazing. And I'm just praying so many blessings over y'all. Y'all are going to be doing amazing things in Tuscaloosa. And I'm just thankful to know that all of those students are in y'all's hands. And it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it. So, cheers to you guys.
Hey everybody. Hey Joe. Hey Maggie. Okay, I just need to take a second to recognize, like, okay, y'all are incredible humans, but your parents have raised you phenomenally. Like, I can't get over it. I'm like, everyone has to say such beautiful things, such truth about you. Like, y'all have killed it, Mom and Dad. Seriously, great job, honestly. So I have so many stories to tell about Joe, but I'm gonna save them. I know there won't be another time, but like, if you want to hear him, just come talk to me. I know y'all are so tired, but this is such a sweet night together, and I do want to say, like, when I met Joe, I was at a time in my life where I really didn't know what it looked like to like follow Jesus in high school. I kind of did the religious thing, but then I was like, oh, like, what does this look like to take a step further? And Joe showed me that. Like, he showed me Christianity in the most delicate way of, hey, like, there's this guy named Jesus, and we can walk with him, we can pray with him, and like, you can be bold, you can be, like, use the authority you've been given. It changed everything. I'm not the only person affected by that. Like, everybody in this room has said how much they have, like, grown from y'all's spirit. Jesus has, like, chosen y'all to choose us. What an honor. Like, I can't even describe it. So, thank you guys. The fact that y'all have, like, loved on each of us so personally, and, like, you know our stories. Like, you could sit here and say the same things about us, that you could tell us all our stories and the fun times. And, like, I hope tonight you can receive so much love and honor from everybody on this team. Like, when it gets hard, we're your battleground. Like, we're going to be praying. We're the people on your team forever. So know that. And, like, this is your mini army. Okay? Yes, we love y'all.
Somehow your mom found out that I was going to Alabama. I didn't even know her. And she told you and me Rose to look out for me. And told y'all, like, hey, go find that girl. She's going to Alabama. She needs to be in Alabama with y'all. And from the very first time that I ever set foot on campus and started doing life there, literally knew no one, not a single person. You were there for me. That's point one. Pledge retreat. And you led me to all my other best friends for life. I know some people have said this. I really would not know about you. You introduced me to my husband. You introduced me to my lifelong best friends. You and your mom and your family have been there for my family in the hardest of seasons, and never once wavered. Every moment that I thought, like, there's that, like, the darkest of darkest, y'all were there. And I just want to say thank you. And Joe, you have no idea what is, like, I'm sure you think Maggie's amazing, but she's so much more amazing than you even think. I have seen sides of Maggie that truly, like, are incredible. She is a godsend. Not just a world changer, but the most selfless person, like, even now. Currently going through a really hard season, and the season should be all about Maggie. She continuing to check in with me and making sure I'm okay, and she's the most selfless person ever. You care so deeply, and I just want to say, like, as a fellow 8 married to a 7, there's going to be a lot of good times, but there's also going to be a lot of hard times. And Maggie, you're going to help Joe be a lot more responsible, a lot more grounded. But Joe, you're going to help Maggie relax, enjoy life. and not stress so much about the little things. And y'all are both amazing people, even though I don't know you that well, Joe. I remember the first time I met you and going home and texting Maggie and being like, I might be crazy, but I think he's the one you're gonna marry. And, but y'all both have such an amazing passion, and as long as you guys can keep that passion for the same thing, you will be a force that no one will ever be able to stop. And Satan's gonna come and try to attack that on all levels, but just remember that God brought y'all together for a reason, and it's truly to change the world. And I am so excited to watch you guys take this new journey in Tuscaloosa. Y'all are going to crush it. Obviously, every single person here has said how much of an amazing leaders y'all are. So just know that, like everyone else here said, we are your people. Through thick and thin, through hard times, through good times, bad times, everything, we are here for y'all. We are your number one cheerleaders. And I'm just so thankful for you, Joe. We prayed for you for many nights. And I'm so thankful that we're here, and you guys are amazing. I love you.
Miss anybody? As a parent, all I can say is wow. Wow. What love in here for these two. And I'll tell you what, I'm just so full of hearing this from you. It just fills me up. But I want to say thank you for all coming, for being here. Jody, you want a minute at the mic? So in about an hour or two when Joe wraps this up, I just want to say thank you all, and I will see you tomorrow. And to my new soon-to-be daughter-in-law, I love you.
Man, y'all get up and now you dream real quick. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. I know this has been a long night, but I don't think tonight I don't think I can articulate. I'm struggling articulating now just the words of just how thankful we are to have each of you in our lives, and it's so humbling and so again, it just takes my words. Like you go through life, and you don't realize how you affect people. Like I said, and like we talk about the 7. Sometimes I can get so stuck in my head. Come on, guys, you know that. And I get so stuck in my head, I forget about the world around me. So you guys have brought, Maggie does it for me, but like this room tonight has brought me back to earth of like, man, we are so blessed to have this team and this group of people around us. And I don't know what, we didn't do anything to deserve you guys. And we are a product of our friends and our relationships. And so we are the sum of you guys. And because of you guys, like I look at each of the guys in this room, like I wouldn't be here right now saying that's this beautiful daughter of God if it wasn't for you, or with a conversation I had with you at some point, or a relationship that we've had, or a moment that we've had. You guys have gotten me here. And I'm so thankful because I get now to spend the rest of my life with the most beautiful, amazing, gifted, anointed girl in the world. And so thank you guys for that. And girls, thank you for being that for Maggie. And thank you for letting, I'm not going to speak for them after, but thank you. I'll say a little bit. Thank you so much for loving her. Maggie is a product. I told this when I asked Pastor Hans and Miss Collette to marry Maggie. I said, I get to enjoy the benefit of a healthy relationship with a father and a healthy relationship with a mother. And I also get to build, to be the benefactor of healthy friendships and beautiful friendships and girls that are in Maggie's corner and who fight for her and who pray for her and who carry her, because y'all know Maggie's going to be strong and she's not going to let people carry her. And sometimes you have to force yourself into carrying her, and you ladies have done that. And I get to receive the blessing of that. And so thank you, ladies, for doing that for her and for loving her so well. So we are so honored. Do you want to say something tonight? Cool. Well, you know.
Yeah. Hey, thank y'all. Seriously, words that just filled me up so much. And honestly, I was emotional before tonight because it was just hitting me, And after tonight, like, I don't know, it's like something in my spirit. It was like tonight needed to happen or tomorrow to happen, I didn't even know how much I needed this. And so thank you all so much for sharing. I know it's late, but like thank you for me. That's meant the world to me and to us. And it's just cool. It really was just like, I know y'all know this, but just like the more we planned for this wedding and the more we looked at like the numbers and COVID and all the things, like it really was like, these people will be in our lives forever, and we can't afford to not have them here. And there are more people that we wish, but y'all really are like our core. And so I just love y'all. Y'all mean so much to me. I'm so excited to party tomorrow. I'm tired of crying. This is what I needed. The Lord knew. And yeah, I just love y'all. And thank you for everyone who spoke like just prophetically and stuff. Like I really felt the Lord just used a lot of y'all just to speak to me about just different fears and things I've been thinking. Y'all nailed it. And so I love y'all, and I'm just so thankful, and I just love my new family. I don't know where Mr. Jim went. Is he behind? But I'm just saying, I really do. Like Jimmy, Susan, Miss Cheryl, and Mr. Jim. And one day I won't call you Miss Cheryl and Mr. Jim. It's just you and me. I can't. But I just am so excited. Like y'all really are such an easy family to marry into. Like from day one, I've been like, this is gonna be just so great. And Mom, you've done so much, and I love you. And I'm just so thankful for you, KK. You're the best. Hamp's playing right now, I think, Clemson. We should probably turn on the game. And then Dad, I don't even know where to begin. I'm glad we got the whole thing on film, because that was amazing. I love you so much. And yeah, I can go around all of them. So we'll find time. But I love you, and I hope y'all sleep amazing tonight. And I hope y'all wake up and just have the most restful day tomorrow. And it's going to be a party. I love y'all.
Hey, can I see it? Can we pray? I don't know, just we have to. Can we pray real quick and then see it tonight? So I would love, well, I guess it's COVID. If you feel led, grab somebody next to you, because we are a team, we are a family, and it has just meant the world. I would just love to seal tonight. So Jesus, we love you. I thank you for this team. I thank you for this family, God, of friends, but the sons and daughters of you, God, people made in your image, Father, who've chosen to be in our lives. God, I ask you to bless the multiple hours that we have spent in this room tonight, that it would overflow with blessings to come. But also, God, just ask that you continue to grow these relationships deeper. They would glorify you, that they would magnify you, God, that they would go into eternity with you, Father. We would carry one another when we can't walk, and Father, that we would allow ourselves to be carried when we need to. God, we just love you. I bless each of these amazing men and women, and I thank you so much for them, God. I thank you for our parents, and I thank you for what you're going to do in our lives, Jesus. We commit it to you, and we love you, and pray this in your holy name. Amen. Let's get married tomorrow, God.